Okay, we're going to install Office 2013 using Click to Run from another machine. We're now on the target machine. It's a Windows 7 box, and remember it's got Office 2013 has to be installed on either Windows 7 or 8. And we have the deployment point on this computer here. So first thing I'm going to do is map a drive to it. And it doesn't need to reconnect, and because we've shared it with everyone, we don't have to put any special credentials in. Now I've got Z drive. From Z drive, we can get the process going. So first thing it's going to do is just stream down the basic bits to get the process going, and after that you'll start to see the application shortcuts appear in the start menu. Now just to refresh you, going back to the configuration file, we're telling Office 2013 to install this build from this path. We're also telling it to look to this path for updates. We are telling it to display the progress rather than do it silently in the background. It's going to activate too. We're not logging, so no, I've commented that out. So if we go back and see the progress of that, it's almost finished streaming down. And this is what you'll see because you've turned on show display. Now I discussed it briefly a little earlier, but I feel that if this is something that you're getting your users to do, or you're just giving them a link to launch, then you'll want to show them that the progress is happening rather than it just ticking away in the background. You can turn this off, no problem. It does have a nice intro that might give them a few ideas about the features of Office, or perhaps you have given them Office training as part of the plan to roll out 2013. So we have this pop-up here that's going to tell us throughout the process that Office is installing. I forget what time I started installing it, so just keep an eye on that clock. But you'll see now that there are some application shortcuts in there. Now, while we have the process going at 6%, I'm going to show you that you can run some of these applications while the rest of the application or suite of applications is being installed. So we're going to start running Word. What this is doing is it's streaming Word down. All the essential features, the most common features, are going to be installed while the rest of Office is installing in the background. So some of those buttons and features, the common ones, will work and do what they need to do. And as you begin to explore features that you might want to use, it will stream those down too as you require them on demand, if they haven't already been done so by the Office installation process that's happening for the rest of the applications. So we have a full version of Office with bits and pieces streaming down in the background. We can start up a blank document and we can start typing. We can do other various things. We can insert picture. So if there's a delay at this point, then it may be that the feature is just still streaming down. This one wasn't too bad. So you can start using Office straight off the bat, and that's minutes within the installation process. As the message clearly says, that if Office seems unresponsive, it's because some of those features are coming down. So you can see that there were templates there as well to see. So the other thing we'll show you too is that the existing version of Word is also installed on the machine. It was. So the previous version of Word is starting up now. Drag that down there so you can see it. Okay, so you're able to run the two versions of Office simultaneously. There's our new one, and there's 2 copies of our old one. And that's a good feature because you're able to test various things like macros or other customizations that you've made to your Office software and see if you can get it to run within Office 2013. Now we'll just check that progress. So 22% gone down in the background. We've opened up Word. We've opened up 2 versions of Word. Let's close that. We'll leave Word and we'll open up Excel. Heck no, let's just open up Outlook. So Outlook's interesting. You can have 2 versions of Outlook running on the machine, but you can't have them running at the same time. So what Outlook will do in the background, for those technical people listening in, it will make a copy of the Mail applet settings within your control panel. So you'll see 2 Mail applets within the control panel, and the settings from the old Outlook will be duplicated across. And that's how you can run 2 versions of Outlook at the same time. The profiles are managed out of the 2 different applets within control panel. So this one takes a little bit longer because here at smartstuff.co.nz we have a few other things that are added to Outlook. We're using CRM online, so that's what's loading there, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and a couple of other add-ins. But as you see, what's happening is the features have been streaming down as part of the Office installation. The Office is still installing in the background at 39%, and Outlook is able to run on this desktop before the Office installation has been completed. While that's happening, I'll just show you another thing about... Oh, no, here it comes. Streaming required features. Something that's been talked about a lot is the ability to log into Office. So if you see in the top hand corner, across a number of the applications within Office 2013, you can log in with a Microsoft account or your Office 365 account, and that will save various settings and even the last place that you're working on a document, and that will follow you through from wherever you're opening that document. So you combine that with the benefits of launching an application from within. Let's just minimize that because you probably don't need to see. So we don't necessarily have to excuse me, answer this question at the moment. This email is interesting. It's from a chap who's looking to connect BlackBerry, or one of the new BlackBerries, to Office 365, and he's just looking for a bit of help within the community site. So yeah, Outlook will pop up all sorts of things that are personal. So Office is now 43% installed, and we've got Word running, we've got Outlook running. Let's run Excel. So you're getting the point there that while it's still installing in the background, you can start using these applications without having to wait for the full Office to be installed. Now, another point that has been made in a number of presentations, that when you're installing Office, it's pulling down the latest build. So the thing about having service packs, how you used to have to install all the service packs and updates after you've installed Office, that sort of goes away because you're downloading the very latest build. You don't have to do all that. So compare the times of installation against the time of installing the base build of the MSI version of Office, then the service packs, then the updates and all that sort of thing. This is far faster to get into it and start working and using it. So yeah, there again, there's the top corner there with me logged into my account as Smart Stuff, and if I access this document from SharePoint Online and need to know where I'm at, excuse me, then it'll actually open in the last position that I was in, even if I'm accessing it from somewhere else. So you get the drift of where we're at with installing Office. Still going down in the background, but that's not a concern to us now because we can just start another application and get into it, start using it. So let's just do that again to further demonstrate it. If I start up one of my favourite programs, OneNote, again it'll start streaming the features down. And if you haven't used it before, then definitely get into it, because there's some very, very cool things that you can do with OneNote. That's just an example here that SharePoint New Zealand conference. We're going to be running a interactive session with OneNote where you can connect to a OneNote notebook as an attendee and register your email address, log in and be a microblogger, and a public link behind this link here will be published to the wider audience on the internet so that they can also view updates as they happen. And if you just step through some of these things, there's some sessions that will be run in the different rooms within the venue, and people can jump on in and create a new page and do a new blog, start blogging about that content. So that's one thing that you can do with OneNote. Now back to that, we've demonstrated a few programs. Still, it's 57% to install, and we can continue to fire up other applications to show you that you can use them while the Office has been installed. But I'll just put this on pause for a bit, and we'll come back to see when Office has completed installation. Again, it's not a concern to us because we're able to start up those applications and start using them, and the features that we do need at the time will be streamed down on demand. Now, in true IT support fashion, I was called away and had to do something else, and when I came back, of course, Office had finished installing. But again, I emphasise that we were able to open any of those other programs and start using them before the Office installation had completed. So you may look at the time and say, wow, did this take 2.5 hours to install? No, it didn't. It was far faster than that. I'm sorry I didn't capture the time. But yes, you could see that you can use the application straight away. So that's how you install Office using Click to Run from another machine on a network share or a deployment point. And hopefully this has helped you to get just the gist of how to set it up, how to configure the configuration file, and what the experience is like for a user to install Office. If there are any other things you need to discover or find out about the particulars of the XML file and other options that you have to configure within that, have a look at the links within my blog. Thanks for watching.